welcome to the Married at First Sight All-Star Panel. Hope everyone's doing well this afternoon. We have a great episode for you today. Great discussion. A lot happened. I'm glad we were done with the weddings and all this other stuff that we've been dealing with on Married at First Sight. We can get to the nitty-gritty, which is the honeymoon, right? All the other stuff is done. We finally got the final wedding taken care of. They're on their honeymoon as well. But I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves. We'll start with the, like Hollywood Squares, the top right. This lovely couple. How y'all doing this afternoon?
Doing pretty good today.
I was making sure you were gonna actually say something.
Oh, I was waiting on you, man.
Go ahead, introduce us.
Introducing today on the live is August Love Story. I'm Tommy, beautiful wife Artika.
Why do you act like this?
I don't know.
Hi guys.
We got Tommy and Artika. We also have with us, and she's popped back on with a lovely new hairstyle. Our single of this panel for right now, Miss Talisa Ray. How you doing, Talisa?
I'm doing well. That's who I am. I'm Talisa Ray everywhere. I got off because I was like, oh, I guess it's too dark. I need to put my light up. I was hoping I wouldn't have to because it's so hot. But hey, y'all. Hey, it's so nice to see y'all.
Hey. Good to see you as well. And I'm Glenn from Jack and Glenn.
I be Jackie.
You be Jackie.
I be Jackie, he be Glenn.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Married at First Sight, season 15, episode number 5. I want to get started with this one for you guys. Let's get here. We saw this episode had a lot of couples that had dinners and they started doing their excursion and everything of that nature. I want to start with Alexis and Justin. They didn't have much on this episode, but what they did have was kind of impactful, right? Because we have Alexis who's hardcore and she's strong, and we have Justin who will cry when the wind blows too hard. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Justin and Alexis from this past week of Married at First Sight? We'll start with Talisa.
Okay, we're gonna start with me. That's lovely. Okay. So I think you hit the nail on the head in describing the two of them, that she is very much so has a wall up, has a block up. I feel like she has been like hurt. And so now I'm just gonna hold on to everything behind this facade of being, with a lack of emotion. I mean, listen, it's a whole black woman thing though. You heard us, and then we like, I don't see y'all. You could be a great dude. I don't see y'all. It's whatever. But I also feel like Justin, no, that's his name. Justin is the extreme, like they're extreme opposites, like extreme. It's not like a happy medium. And he is showing us exactly why his brother did not want him to get married in the first place. Like, I feel like him head over heels, diving in like she's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Sir, you don't know this woman from Adam. You don't know her. It's endearing. Like, I like it. I do like that he is vulnerable and he's willing to express himself, because that's probably what she needed. Because the last boyfriend she probably had was like, she didn't know what they was, who they was, what they was doing. It's a situation shit. Like she probably had no clue, right? That's how I feel. Like, and so this is actually the polar opposite of someone just sharing with you how I feel. I love you. I think the world of you, but I think it's too much too soon. I hope it works out for them, but I really feel like it's too much too soon for him to be like, I love you, which I can love you, right? I can love you, and I can love you with the love of God. Like, that's cool. I can love you and see your greatness, but now I'm in love with you. Like, I'm falling for you. And on top of that, you want to cry because she, ain't really giving the same energy. Like, he said, oh, I can feel it. I'm just all over the place, but y'all stay with me. I can feel it, but the reason he feels it is because his love language is physical touch, and she's touchy. She's all over him. And so that's why he thinks that it's love, because she is pouring it on thick. So thick that that she's ready to have the sex, right? That's what she wants. and to the point where she wants to tell everybody about his celibacy. The man said, though, she could get it. I just want to know who you are, because the man wants to give it to you. He telling everybody on the boat, everybody how he waking up in the morning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all like, sir, it's a little bit too much information for your newly made friends that you talking about how excited you are when you wake up in the morning for this woman that you just met. And it's less energy, you know, it's that whole, I can't wait to get you in the bed because she's sexy. I'm gonna give her that. She is coming with all of the feminine energy, the Delilah energy, if per se. I love it. And really probably more like the Jezebel energy, but I didn't want to call her that because she's not a Jezebel. But you know what I'm saying? That's not who she is, but that's how people would equate it. Okay, so y'all don't judge me, but that's the energy that people would say that she would have. So I'm always rooting for everybody. I'm always rooting for everybody black. I want us all to win, but I think it's gonna be, because they're so different. It's gonna be in a moment we're gonna see the disconnect. We're gonna see it. She's gonna get tired of the over affection because she's not used to that, and he's not gonna know how to handle it because he's a people pleaser. I know we're not really talking about the wedding and stuff, but I liked when they told her, listen, and told him, it's her sisters told him, remember, it's about you too. Like, don't be trying to just please her and be a people pleaser. From a recovering people pleaser, it's a recipe for disaster. So I'm rooting for them. I got my eyes, fingers, and toes crossed, but I want to reserve really my full thoughts and stuff on all of these people until about episode 7. We right there though, because we ain't do the weddings. Like, listen, we didn't do the weddings, and that's exciting to me. Like, I might can make it to the end, so we gonna see.
August love story.
When Talisa started talking, the first thing that popped into my mind was Lenny Williams, with him saying, "Girl, you know I love you no matter what you do."
Ba-doop, ba-doop.
Thank you, Lenny. I definitely feel like Justin is far too much of a people pleaser, and I don't know what happened with Alexis to make her be a track star, because this is relationship number 4 that we know about, because she had 3 engagements, 3 proposals, didn't accept any of them. Like, people love to be proposed to and say yes and then not get married. Like, that happens a lot. But you're getting proposed to and not even saying yes, it's a little bit questionable, because Tommy and I sat through a proposal once where we were both nervous that the person wasn't going to say yes. And so since we sat through one of those, I'm like, everybody says yes, right? And then y'all just don't get married. But she's like, I didn't even say yes. So this is like a little bit awkward for me. I worry about him and his mental space though, because like when I finally sat down and watched After Party from the beginning of the season, he said that, you know, when him and his last fiance broke up, he still carried on the plans that they had to like move to, I think, Colorado. And when he moved there, he just kind of like isolated himself from his family. And doing that, it's like, don't let this girl trigger you, because she got some stuff going on in her life, and you're feeling like you need to go through and be everything for her, and she's not reciprocating. But I'm gonna let you jump in on that one.
All right. Yeah, I think he should have saved that "I love you" for a better day, better opportunity. Even if you feel it, you have to kind of like read the room. And I don't think he read the room on that one, just because her first, like, from meeting her, from what we see, obviously we know that we don't see everything, and they've had deeper conversations than what we see on TV. But from what we see, she's explained herself as being a tough cookie, a hard shell, not really mushy and lovey-dovey and stuff like that. But she's always kissing him and stuff like that. So him sitting down telling her, I love you after 48 to 56 hours. The fact that we're still counting the hours of how long y'all known each other tells us that it's too fast to say I love you, because you can run somebody away because you don't even know how they feel about that word. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand what type of person she is at this point. Like, yeah, everything is good because you're on a honeymoon. Like, we didn't have issues on our honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? Even if we ran out of money, we didn't have issues on our honeymoon. I don't think we ran out of no money though, did we?
No.
So it's like, man, you spring that on, you're still riding this wave of being married, because that's always exciting. You had this wonderful party, you got to dress up, people were celebrating you, probably got some gifts from people, and then you meet a new person to spend the next 8 weeks with, and then you get to make a decision. But I just feel like he should have saved that. With her, I want to know who hurt her, because all she has talked about was how she's been, like, how she said no with the other relationships and her idea of marriage. I don't know, like I wonder what the idea of marriage was for her.
Her daddy hurt her. And the reason I say that is because her mom and her dad were married. And she told Stacia that she didn't feel a connection to her father's last name, even though he was around.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Like, it had to be her daddy. I'm just, in my mind.
No, I'm saying, like,
that's who it got to be.
Like, yeah, I mean, maybe, but it's just I think she said at the beginning they were, like, when they got divorced when she turned 18.
Yeah.
And it was like a relief
Mm-hmm.
for everybody. But
something like that.
I'm just curious to know what her ideas are. And then her response to him, I don't think was right. Because for her response to be like, I want to run. What if somebody said that to you? That's all I was thinking. I was like, what if the roles were flipped and he said, he wants to run? Like, I just don't feel like they used their words correctly. Neither one of them at that dinner. I do think they have a lot of growing to do, and I think they're good for each other, but you have to give time to argue healthily, before you can just make a decision right then and there. Because if decision day was today, she would probably say no, and he would more than likely say yeah. They
don't have anything to go on there.
But it's nothing to go on, and like, they ain't even had sex, which is a big one in this season. Everybody's trying to do it, and it's I don't know. I think he jumped the gun too fast, man, and I don't know how he's gonna bounce back from that, because his feelings was hurt, so.
Yeah, he was crying, wasn't he? I mean, it was big old crocodile tears, wasn't it? It was like real crocodile tears. I wanted to say about the I love you. Y'all ain't never had nobody tell y'all I love you real quick? Like I knew I love you when I met you?
Absolutely not.
That just must be me then.
That's you.
That just must be me. Because I didn't have that a couple times, and I'd be looking at them like, it's you love the idea of me. And I'm going to let you stand on the island by yourself because your feelings are yours. And who am I to tell you that you don't love me? Who am I to tell you that? That's just what it is. You can say it, but don't think that my feelings are contingent upon yours or based on how you feel. No, you love me, sir. It's cool. Like, it's cool.
I can't remember if anybody told me they love me quickly.
I'm sure they did.
Tommy thinks I'm rude because I always say that my exes die after we stop dating, so I don't remember.
That's crazy. Oh, one thing I did want to bring up is I think Justin's committed to whoever walked down that aisle. He was gonna love. He's committed to the word love. Mm-hmm. So I don't care if the Grim Reaper or Goblin walk down that aisle. I'm gonna love that person, and I'm gonna love what I'm doing to get what I wanted out of it. So, and I think, somebody brought up the point. One of y'all brought up the point about his brother. Talisa, I never even thought about that being the reason why, is because he goes so hard really, really fast, and crashes even harder. So I don't know. Good point though.
I'll go. It's funny that you stopped there, Tommy, because I said the same thing as Talisa. I said, now we see why the brother was like, because he knows his pattern. He fall ahead of like you be like all gung-ho and you gonna get your feelings hurt. That's why the brother was like, oh, dog, I wish you wouldn't. But I mean, you already done it. So I definitely saw that. I said the same thing about his love language. Obviously, it's physical touch. And just a touch. And Justin is like, oh, he's slapping butts. It started with the high five. When she took the high five away, he said, I gotta find something else. I'm gonna high five her butt. and she's willing to give it to him. And so he is soaking it up. And we said the same thing, Tommy. I believe he was so in love with being married and excited about being in the process. It didn't matter who was going to be come to that altar. But realizing it was somebody he crossed paths with on Hinge too. Oh, I kind of recognize her. I talked to her. That right there, he was like, I'm in. I'm all the way in. It's just too much too fast. Poor Justin. I hope she don't just take his heart to wipe her feet on. I hope she don't. Oh my gosh. Because the way he cried at that table, he gonna be a mess. He will be a mess.
But see, that was my thing. How do you go from 4 months earlier to swiping left to now hugging and kissing and being really in tune with this guy that you swiped left on, that was in your DMs that you didn't like in the first place, right? You didn't care the conversation. Now, to me, a little bit, is it because you on TV? Mm-hmm. Is it because you want because the camera stuck in your face? Why do you all of a sudden touchy-feely with this guy that you didn't want to date from Hinge? So what is going on with you, ma'am, that makes you now want to feel like, you know what, I'm going to give this guy a shot? Mm-hmm. You talk about his celibate, because she don't call it celibate. She don't call it celibacy. She call it celibate. Like, it ain't no dish celibate. No, it's not bent. Whatever. So she talks about it all the time, which to me is like, why don't you just go ahead and have sex with him? That's what you want. You telling everybody this what he has. So I mean, you're not pushing up on him at night. Y'all kissing and stopping, and now you're gonna blow the pipes.
And the thing about it is, he was celibate outside this process. He ain't never say he's still trying to be celibate, but she keep bringing it up. I promise you, sis, you go to bed with little to nothing on, he ain't gonna be celibate no more.
But no, she's playing. That's my point. She's playing games because she said he could get it, but she ain't trying to give it. So you keep saying he can get it, but you ain't giving it, and so you playing with this man's emotions and feelings. She should say, you know what? Let's wait a minute. Let's get to know each other, or this, that, and the other. But you laughing and giggling when have to all this other stuff she's doing. And I'm not just saying it's just her, because brother's head over heels. And I agree with Tommy. I think I said in our review, it could have been I want to say a little person. I'm about to say the M word. That's impolitically correct these days. It could have been a little person that came down the aisle and he's 6'7" and he still would have been in love with that person, right? He still would have been in love with them because he's caught up in the marriage. And I think what's interesting, I would love to know how long it took him to marry the girl. I want to ask the girl that he was going to marry in the first place to marry him.
I don't think it took.
I want to know, was it a month? Because right now he's moving at a fast pace and his heart got broken. So I wonder if he moved at a fast pace with her and she was like, you know what? I ain't ready, bro. Pump the brakes because you're doing too much too fast too soon and I'm not ready. Because look at the accelerated pace. It's like Tommy said, it's 48 hours, 56 hours, whatever the case may be. And he said, I love you already. And this is what I'll get in the draws. So when he gets the draws, what's going to happen once because she thickens, what if she throw it on him and he in love? He gonna be talking about somebody. He's gonna be caught up, or vice versa. What if she give it to him and then stop giving it to him? It's gonna be, he's gonna. When your love language is physical touch and you don't get physical touch, That's a problem. When you don't get when she like, hold up, bro, we mad at each other. We can't, you ain't doing this. You ain't kissing me. You ain't hugging you. When the honeymoon's over, you get back to regular day life, and she wants to hang out with her boys and go play flag football.
That's gonna be a problem.
You know, that's gonna be a problem. Or y'all having a conversation and you break out in tears. Not when you at dinner and she look at you like, punk, stop crying. Because she has that in her. Because her sister said it. Look. We called them last week the gross sisters, right? Look what she had. Her sister said that they were rough. They're rough. So when you have that exterior, it's gonna be a moment where she can be like, bruh. She gonna like look at him and be like, look, I know some Muay Thai too. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. She can try to jack him up. And what are you gonna do at that point? Because she said when she said I can handle his sensitivity, I didn't know what she meant by that. Did she mean I can handle his sensitivity by I can run over him? Or can I handle his sensitivity by taking care of him and being nurturing? I haven't seen any nurturing in her as of yet.
No.
You know, so that's one of the things that I'm worried about, that she's really gonna hurt him eventually. Because her just saying I don't love you right now, bro was crying. And if you watch After Party, Keisha Knight Pulliam's always giving that bro some tissue.
He got choked up on there too.
And I'm not saying he's soft, but I'm just saying he's very emotional.
His family said he was soft. They said he was sensitive.
He's fragile.
Soft.
Yeah. His family said it.
But a lot of that is because of the hurt. Remember, his mama wasn't there. His daddy wasn't there. He was raised by his brother. So therefore, he has a lot of hurt and a lot of things that he has to deal with in order to, grow up.
I'm scared.
You scared? He need to be scared because it's not working well for him. Well for him.
I wonder what happens with them when an argument happens and he has to stand on his own too. He has to, because it gets to a point you can only be agreeable for so much, to a point where it's like it doesn't make sense. And those are the things that help healthy marriages. Like, I don't feel like they're really he's really understanding a difference or making a difference from marriage and making it work versus being in love with it or being infatuated with the idea of marriage, because those two things are two completely different things. Because we have an idea of how we want it to go or how we think it should go, but it ain't how it goes. Like, it's very seldom that my wife's gonna wake up and she's gonna cook breakfast. What? Nah, it ain't gonna work like that every day, man. So it's those things that I think he's not thinking about, and it's like he's riding this high of everything else, and I don't know how you just can't be that way in a marriage or even in a relationship, because that's not a truthful representation of yourself. And if you're not being truthful with somebody that you're spending the rest of your life with, then you in some trouble. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think he needs to open up a little bit more and also stand on his own a little bit 2 feet, to be able to say, you know what, when hard times do come, I need to handle it. I need to handle it in a good way, because she can't take the lead. To me, I want to know if he's able to take a lead or he's able to maneuver. Right now, he's been catering to her, and there's nothing wrong with that on your honeymoon, catering to her. But when it's all over and you got to cater to each other, or you need something and she doesn't reciprocate that the way that you think she's supposed to be, how is he going to handle that? That's the biggest thing. If she doesn't reciprocate. Yeah. So that's Justin and Alexis. We all know he's moving too fast and he needs some help. And his brother was right. This, as of right now, his brother was right. This ain't for you. And she's just playing with emotion. Now, good question for you guys. Do you think they consummate on the honeymoon, or do they wait to get back to the States? You think they consummate on the honeymoon?
Absolutely.
Yes, like honeymoons are magical and romantic, and everything is set up to like
GTD.
Okay. Since it's set up that way, You gonna have one night you go out to dinner and you have one drink too many. You're gonna be like, well, see what the tree's about.
Yes. Let me climb the tree. Ain't that what they say?
Climb the tree.
Like, let me climb the tree.
We used to call climbing trees something totally different.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't talking about a tall man.
Wasn't that in the song?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know one thing. She can have neck issues. She keep doing this right here.
Oh my God.
Man.
Yeah,
We like kiss that man on the chest and keep it pushing.
keep it pushing. Wait till y'all sit down. Then give him a kiss when you sit down.
Right.
Just
Right.
hug him, man.
Talking about things hot and steamy and not going nowhere. Tommy, we was wrong last week because we swore up and down that Nate got the draws afterwards. But they both said that nothing happened. Now, he a strong brother, she a strong sister. For after that, nothing took place.
They are lying.
I feel like they're lying too. I feel like it's a whole lie. You're not going to be that hot and steamy in the shower, naked, rubbing up on me.
With a camera crew. And nothing happens when the camera crew leaves.
I see why the camera crew is there. Yes, maybe you be just a little bit. But the moment they leave, something is happening.
Maybe they didn't have what is called vaginal sex. Penetration. But they might have had oral sex.
Oral sex is sex in the mouth.
Sex in the mouth. They had sex.
Maybe there was some hand play. There was some hand play. Maybe some hand play.
There's no, like, because it's like, you think about it,
way.
man. How do you calm down from that?
You can't. They were naked together. Naked. I mean, no, there's no way that they did. Something had to have happened. There was something that happened because they were connected before, but I feel like now they're even more connected. I don't know, and sometimes that thing is the thing that binds people. You know what they say. One become one, and they know each other.
Mm-hmm.
They know each other very well.
They did something, man.
They did something. I'm with you, Tommy.
I agree with you. I agree with y'all. They did something. Both of them lying. Something happened. It may not have been penetration, but something took place on the honeymoon after that shower
sex
scene.
up the mouth. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Artika said, let me hurry up and mute him. Let me mute him now.
Sometimes you just gotta know who you married to, and you know when he's about to go off on the deep end, and you just stop him before he gets started.
See, that's why I control the mouse over here. Like, nope, I'm gonna put this one in there. I know I ain't supposed to say it, but guess what? Let's keep the party going.
But that's a good point, to Lisa. Yeah, and August Love. Y'all doing all this rubbing and touching and caressing and kissing with the camera people there. It ain't no way. Ain't no way. And I know before, when we talked about this last week, people like they had bathing suits on, a bikini. I don't. Guess what? You can feel through that stuff, and you might as well be doggone naked. So yeah, something happened. Something happened after that. And I would say, they are more connected. After that, until they went ATV riding, and he like totally ignored her and was just on Instagram. So whatever kind of connection, like that went out the window on the ATVs. He was like, I'm doing it for the gram now. But
I wanted to ask you guys that. What do y'all think about him just doing a lot of stuff for the gram? To me, that would seem like fishy. Seem like he's there for the cameras. That he wants to be on TV. He wants to be seen. Wants to be a star. Talisa, what do you think about Nate and his photogenic self?
Well, listen, I'm totally photogenic. Okay, I totally be all on the internet with the videos. I totally do, but I think the difference between him and I is I don't have no mate. I didn't just marry somebody. I'm not on no honeymoon. And if I am going to do it, it's going to be me and my new husband. So I think that it's showing his immaturity, where I think that they do match in some respects. I believe this is us being able to see who he is, right? And you might be right, Glenn. He might be there for the camera. He might be there, for the camera, because maybe he thinks like all the rest of them that they're gonna get a spinoff or something. I don't know, but that's not realistic. You ain't seen it happen in 15 seasons, so why would you think that that's gonna happen for you? But I really feel like he needs to consider her more. That whole ATV thing. One of my Red Sunshines, I'm sure she follows y'all. I can't think of her name right now. But she came in and gave me a whole paragraph because us as content creators are getting it wrong. That she was in the front of him, and that's how come you never see her in the background. It doesn't matter if she was in the front or if she was in the back. You had stopped to have you a moment, a video moment, a talk to the gram moment. So you did not consider her, and you already knew this was unfamiliar territory. You already knew that she was afraid. So for me, this is a major fail on his part. Major fail on his part. But you only asked the one question, so I'm gonna stop talking and let somebody else say something.
What was the question again?
Do you think Nate's there for all the right reasons? Was his Instagram moment right or wrong, basically?
I almost forgot.
He was completely wrong. Like, the one thing that bothered me was when they were getting on the ATVs, he put all his stuff on and immediately was all in his phone. But she's like looking at him like, yo, I'm uncomfortable with this. That's like, as a husband, as a man, period, like anybody that you're with and you're doing anything that's out of the everyday norm, right? You want to make sure the people that are with you are comfortable with what's going on. And the fact that he didn't even look up to see that she was uncomfortable bothered me to my core, because I was like, bruh, just look up. Just see that she's uncomfortable. Make sure that she's okay. Like, this is your wife now. This is like, you can even go as far as say, this is a friend, a female friend of yours. You want to make sure that she's comfortable with what's going on, because you don't want anything to happen to her. And when they were driving and he would stop, I was like, this is an opportunity for you to stop. And if you're going to do Instagram, say, hey, Stacia. Stop for a minute. Let's do this Instagram video. Like, include her in these things, because now it's not just me, it's us. And that showed that only helps build trust, and that only allows her to see that you're trying to allow her into your world. Like, give her the opportunity to say, no, go ahead. Not just, I'm gonna stop right here. She's looking around for you because, number one, she's already uncomfortable on this. He's telling her, I want to go fast. I want to do it again. I want to go fast. Bro, just enjoy the moment, because when's the next time y'all gonna do this? With each other. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think he that was right. I don't think he played that card right. Please.
Nah. I think the same thing, Tommy. As a man, that made me mad, because the fact that she asked him, "Hey, husband, you okay? Right? Husband, you all right back there?" And he never reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you okay, wife? Or can you put your helmet up? Is he good? Most dudes would have waited till she got comfortable on her ATV and then went back to my own ATV to make sure. Okay, give me a second. Are you good? You straight? Well, you wear your mask like this. You don't have to cover your whole face, or put your goggles on, whatever the case may be. He was never really reassuring or really. He was just caught up in himself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, teacher.
Influencer Nate, that's what I'm gonna call him today. He the interesting thing is, when I think back about going on my honeymoon versus going on a vacation with a guy that I am not married to, because I've done both. The guy that I'm not married to, I've had pictures of me where we're at. Like, we're at the beach. There's a picture of me at the beach. He's not in any of the photos, because if we break up, I don't need you part of all of my memories that I posted on Facebook. But with my my husband at the beach or on our honeymoon, because I can specifically say our honeymoon, almost every picture that I took was with my husband, because I want to remember the memories of us together on this honeymoon, not just me by myself. So that was a little bit, I don't want to say awkward, but it definitely felt like it was like I'm on vacation in Mexico and I just happen to also be with this girl that I'm married to, instead of I want to capture moments and memories together. One of the other things that bothered me, because I'm just going ahead and list the other thing that bothered me, was him talking about her getting ready for dinner. He was like, I was ready in 30 minutes. I'm like, have you seen her? Like, it takes a minute to get pulled together to do anything. And like, she's a nice looking person. She puts herself together well in a day. Like, it's not like she's like, she showed up in a t-shirt and some baggy jeans and you looking at her like, what took you so long? Like, she actually put some thought into what she was putting on. Let her have that moment. I think that he, and I believe I said this in maybe not this week's review, but in last week's review, he's a person that is used to being chased, and he is putting himself in this position of I'm the prize, and he doesn't realize that his wife is a prize as well. And there's an issue there. You got
Totally agree. What came to my mind was, if it was Megan, would he have asked her, was she all right?
Who's Megan?
The white girl.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Becky with the good hair. Would he have been more? Would have been more? More romantic with Becky. I mean Megan. I don't want to call her girl Becky.
Sorry, Becky.
But again, I totally agree with that.
I think it would be like Artika said. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because that is his friend, maybe he would have been like, hey, let's take a picture. But both of y'all said it. Talisa said, and then Artika said, yeah, why don't you August love, period. Take the picture together. Mm-hmm. Hey, before we take off, look, let's get a picture of us. This is a memory to go, with our married at first sight marriage. Like this.
Maybe he don't think he's gonna be married long. Maybe he like Artika and don't want these memories for later. That's a whole possibility. Maybe. Because they be dead after. That's what Artika said. They did. I heard you, Tommy.
I have a wee bit of toxicity. It's okay. I'll admit it.
I like the way you think. Because yeah. But that's a thing. And I'm with you. I mentioned it. I'm over here smacking. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm hungry. I mentioned the whole timing of getting dressed in my review, and I thought to myself, then you've never dated a woman before, because all women at minimum take an hour, and we're going somewhere. I know what I'm wearing. I'm showering. I'm getting myself together. We're not going hiking. It takes at minimum, unless you're just real life simple, it takes you about a good hour. You don't rush around because you get out, you hot. We like hot ass showers. So we got to cool down. We got to lotion up. We got to go in there, wash our face, brush our teeth, get on whatever we're getting together here in the face. If it's little to nothing, it might be some lip gloss, but it all takes time. He ain't gonna say never. That's not fair. But I'm just saying. And y'all said that what you say, Artika, not the prize. He used to be in chase. I don't think that he's attractive. I don't like the way he looks personally, but that's my preference. So I don't know who is chasing after him and why he would think that he's anybody's prize. But let me keep
Megan.
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 Oh, Megan. I was like, Megan looks like she's gonna cry that you got married.
Mm-hmm. He's used to Megan's chasing after him, and that's what he's got. Like that's the type of girl that he's been accustomed to. Someone that is going to be butthurt over him leaving and all those things. So, plays the part. This is what I'm accustomed to. I am the prize.
Yeah.
We all know a Megan.
But if you want someone who's in his league, I'm gonna use that, or who is a prize, who is a dime. You know, it takes time. It takes time for her to get beautified. And bro, it's not like y'all got anywhere else to go. It's not like you gonna miss your reservation. It's not like they're gonna close the restaurant. It's not like the camera crew gonna go home. It's none of that, right? It's not like you don't have snacks in your room. Let this girl get beautified, pretty, and what does she need to do, and roll on out. And just sit there, and you ever sit there and just, I know I do. My wife getting ready, I just sit there and watch her get ready. Like it's like it's like a work of art. Sometimes you just sit there and you watch them get ready. She thought I was gonna say something else. I was
like, wait, hold
on. I don't rush you. I'm past that. We 20 years in. Those rushing stages are done. I learned a long time ago. Now I ain't rushing you, because if we gotta be here somewhere at 7:30, I'm getting ready at 5. So I already know.
I ain't gonna tell them you're gonna hear.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Or last week, I know. Sometimes
you be the last one to get ready.
I know. Sometimes I gotta answer a YouTube comment, an Instagram post, a work call, something of that nature. But anyway, it don't take men that long to get ready. Slap on some grease, whatever case may be, brush your hair, keep it moving. But now he got to say something
though. Before you change from that, Glenn, let me just say this. He probably figured it only took him 30 minutes and he feels like he's just as pretty as she is. And so it shouldn't take her that long. I'm pretty, so it didn't take me that long. Maybe I'm over here having all kind of thoughts. Listen, I'm back quiet, but that hit me and I was like, I got to say it now.
With that, and I'm pretty and it didn't take me that long. And then let's go back to Megan. It probably only take Megan 30 minutes to get ready. She don't look like she do much of nothing to herself. He probably used to dealing with Megan's. He not used to dealing with Stasia's and Keisha's and Tasha's. I'm just saying. We got to do our hair. We got to pin it up. We got to get the flat iron. And Megan, I don't want to offend nobody. Megan came out the shower with her hair wet and it dried on the way to the restaurant. Just saying.
It may be that way, but when they got to the restaurant, this is what I was waiting to see. When they got to the when she broke out the question about the prenup or the post-nup, I was ready for it, because I was ready for what he was going to say, because he was honest about his company being bankrupt. Mm-hmm. Which my point is, why, if you're having a company with a partner, why y'all don't have an LLC? Why are you putting your own money, your own stuff out there? And if it crashes and bankrupts, not the LLC don't bankrupt, not you, and But you guys starts on Nate and his financial situation. Are we dealing with a Steve here? Or are we still dealing with a Michael from DC? Just a
say it again.
I ain't gonna say it no more.
He might be a Michael.
He might be. I don't think Nate is any one of those. I just think Nate was naive about the business, maybe didn't know, the rules of business and stuff, and just jumped in. But I don't think that conversation, it's hard for me to believe that there's no protection for assets, right? Because this is a risk that you're taking. And I get it, if it's not a protection or anything like that, you want to set something up. So him saying, yeah, I'm gonna sign it. It was a very mature move. But I just don't. It's weird how it came up in conversation. It wasn't
to Stacia or to her mama.
To both of them, honestly. I guess Stacia and her mama talking to each other wasn't weird, but it's it was weird that that's what they showed us, and I know why they showed us that. It presents drama. Oh, it's a what is he gonna say type of deal. But it's a reasonable question. It's just a weird way to me. I felt weird hearing it, but he said, yeah, he's gonna sign it. So it's nothing, that should be the end of the conversation about that part of the finances. Now learning how he moves with his finances, because he's he's a day trader. Mm-hmm. And what else he does? Sales. How that's another conversation for them, probably for another day, because you still want to get to know the person, because regardless of, you know, they still got to figure out if they like each other. You know, they still got to make that decision, because I know finances, she said, was important to her, but they're important. But I still think you need to know who you're married to. So I don't know.
Finances can be fixed. So I guess on that side, yeah, you can say, you know, getting to know the person is more important. But she's also a person who seems to be like super well put together with everything. Like she's got a plan and she needs to know your plan.
And then she just, the very next sentence, she was like, I want to have a kid next year.
She 37.
I get that part, but it's like finances roll into that too.
Yeah, but if I decide that you and I are gonna work out, I can take care of this kid. That's what she's looking at it as.
Yeah.
Because if she's as put together financially as the show would have us believe she is, then yes, she could take care of this child on her own. People that have less are doing more.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you look at it from that standpoint. If what she's wanted to do is become a parent, then yeah, all I need is somebody to help me get there. I got the egg. I need you to supply the other half. But I also think that she should use caution with having kids this quickly. And I get it. She's 37. Something tells us like after 35, we need to start rushing to have kids. And it's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
But that's how the world treats us. Like when I had Lily at 32, people were like, well, when y'all gonna have another one? You know, you ain't got that many years. I'm like, my eggs are fine. I don't need to like rush to have another baby. It's okay. And if I don't, I don't.
Mhm.
But for someone who's got that in their timeline, it works out for her. And I didn't find the conversation with the bankruptcy to be weird. It was kind of like, why are we talking about money? Let me ask you this question, because that's a big money question. Because it's like, did you file for bankruptcy? Did your business file for bankruptcy?
I don't think that was weird. I think the posting it, like, I don't know, when she talked about the posting up, I was just like, this is uncomfortable and weird to me. But him explaining the bankruptcy and stuff like that, that's a conversation to have, because he explained something that happened to him.
Yeah, I guess I feel like it's okay whenever you talk about it. Like it wasn't like she was like, show me your bank account on day 3.
Yeah.
She was just like, let's have a conversation about, and she's not even talking about his finances. She's talking about her finances. Like, I'm not asking you what you have. I'm saying I want to protect what I have. So it doesn't matter what you have. You can have more than me, but I want to protect what I have because this is what I have worked for. So I don't know.
I guess the placement of the conversation was weird.
Okay. Sure.
You ain't hear your wife tell you no, it wasn't.
I'm just trying to justify it a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
Man, you know, the posting. I understand she's in real estate and all this other stuff, so she's constantly making money. And she's constantly, and I don't know what California. To Lisa, you probably know they're in California. I do know the show signs a prenup beforehand. I don't know the posting up. So anything they make while they married, he might have been entitled to, because we'll go by that state law. California is a little weird state when it comes to marriages and stuff like that. So just, I understand where she's coming from. She want to protect her own just in case it doesn't work out. So I'm cool with that. The other biggest issue I have with them is, how do y'all?
Before you go to something else, but I think I said this last week. I said you got to be a dirty dog to come out of a married at first sight marriage and want to reap some benefits of somebody's bank account. Use a raggedy somebody. Then that tells me you got into it for the wrong reason anyway. The nerve of you after 8 weeks to think you're gonna take some money, get some alimony. Are you kidding me? You got to be a raggedy joker. So, I understand her wanting to post up, but at the same time, I'll be like, Look, Judge, throw it out. 8 weeks.
Yo, but,
We did it for TV.
But
He don't deserve nothing.
It goes to conversation. 8 weeks, you consummated. And if she sold real estate, what if she sold a house for $1 million during that time?
I don't give a good goddamn.
You see what I'm saying? So I see where she's coming from. In those 8 weeks, she didn't start working.
No, I see where she's coming from. What I'm saying is anybody that would try to reap something out of a married at first sight marriage. But you's a raggedy somebody and you ain't have nothing when you came in this and you ain't had no business getting matched.
They describe him as a hustler, though. This might be his hustle.
Right. Might be his hustle. I mean, look at Matt from Carolina, right? Matt from Carolina he was in it to win it, right? He was in it to win it. You know, he was there. Hey, it may be, but I understand her protecting herself.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I mean, and he was cool with it. So guess what? If he cool with it, I'm cool.
He gonna have to be cool with it. He could not have sat at that table and said no. Because the episode would have got stretched out even longer. No.
He was hurt. He was hurt by it, but he was cool with it. Now, here's the question.
I don't understand though why he would have been hurt by it. Because I don't know you. And if you had the money, you have money to protect your assets too. And he's talking about, she don't trust you. No, she don't trust you. She don't know you.
Same time, man. Same time, and I don't know you.
That is it. But here goes mine. You want me to sign a post-nup, but you still want to keep my name. You want to sign a post. You want me to sign a post-nup, but even if something happened to us, you still want to keep my name. Talisa, your thoughts on Stacia still want to be Barnes after the fact if they split?
She could be Barnes. She could be Barnes because if she decided, okay, well, you know what? I don't want the name I have. She can go get another name, and that name could be Barnes, and she could pay $500 if ever have her name changed to Barnes. You know, she should have changed her name a long time ago. This shouldn't have been the reason that she changed her name. That for starters. But I feel like I know names are legacy. I know they're legacy, right? But if she keeps the name and they're not together and she gets married again, guess what she's gonna do? Change her name. If they have children, the name is not gonna be the Barnes name. The name is gonna be, Mr. Smith or whomever, right? So she can keep the name. It's it's the name. It's the attachment to it is probably more of the issue. I think would be more of the issue. But even then, you married me. I told you I was gonna change my name. And so be it. I told my husband I was changing my name too. It is changed on paper, but I never changed anything else. So everything still shows my maiden name. Now, if he had lived, I probably would have finally went ahead and did the right thing and went ahead and just changed my name and been a Webster. But I did not. So I don't have any change. I like my name the way it flows, my first, middle, and last name. But I just say, well, what's the name? What's the name? Let her keep it. Y'all break up. You ain't never got to see the woman again. Well, you both live in San Diego, so that's the whole thing. San Diego is not that big. Even the surrounding cities, and San Diego is it's a pretty calm city, right? It's pretty, and all of their partying is in like the gaslamp district. And so if they're gonna go party, that's where they would run into each other. But Glenn, you gonna be mad? You gonna be mad or no? I ain't think so. Keep the name. Be glad.
I ain't be mad. Wouldn't be mad at all. Wouldn't be mad. Go ahead and keep it. We done moved on. Let's sign these papers and let's roll. August love story.
Ask it. He said, "What was the question?" and then smiled at me. I would keep the last name, but like, okay, so I have a little bit of attachment to my maiden name. So I dropped my middle name and made my maiden name my middle name. I got kids now, so I would keep Tommy's last name in a divorce until I married somebody else, if I married somebody else. And that would just be it. Like, he said something, I'd be like, fight me. I know he's not going to, so it is what it is.
He gonna lose. That's why. Because he gonna lose. He can't fight.
I mean, I know he wouldn't, so it's just like whatever. But most of the people that I know that have gotten divorced, if they legally changed their names stayed their first husband's name until they got remarried. So it's just, I think it's weird that she's like, I would be a Barnes for life, because she's saying that like it's a badge of honor and she don't know him. But like changing your name itself doesn't really strike any feelings within me, because it's like, if you've ever had to go to the Social Security office and change your name and go to the DMV and change your name, I still have credit cards that have my maiden name on them, because I'm not about to submit all this paperwork. I don't have it in me. We've been married for too long now at this point to even be thinking about like going back and going through all this stuff. I just leave it as what it is. My maiden name is still on my bank account. My married name is on my bank account. You send me a check, I'll be able to cash it either way. That's my thought in it.
My God.
Go ahead.
First off, I don't care. Like that has nothing to do with me. I would think that I've worked hard enough to, or my goal is that my name means so much that it's dumb for you to change it. Like what's Trump's ex-wife? Did she change her last name?
The one that just died.
So it like that's what I work for. Or like, if you change your last name away from my last name, that's on you. You know, that's silly. It'd be silly for you to do it, because that's my gift to you. You know, in a sense, because like you think about Kevin Hart's ex-wife too. She never changed her last name, but she benefits from having the last name Hart, and that's all I mean. You know?
I don't know that it's about the benefit of
But
having
that's
the
what-
last name. I'm just thinking of it as the process of, why am I going to spend hundreds of dollars and go through sitting at the Social Security office and the DMV and filling out all this paperwork, and I don't have to.
And see, that's something I never had to do. So it's like,
If men had to change their last
Man,
name,
I
it
would
would be a
not.
lot of maiden names walking around here.
I would not do it.
Exactly.
Unless you did it for me. And I wouldn't say no to it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, the biggest issue what I heard from her that didn't matter. It was that she wanted to get anything that resembled her dad or anything that reflected to her father is what she wanted to get rid of. That last name could have made no sense. That last name could have been a whole bunch of jumbled letters. It could have been anything. She is hurt by her father and her stepfather, and she was willing to get rid of her name because she wants nothing to do with neither one of those men in her life who hurt her or didn't take care of her, protect her.
Let me tell you this. I think Talisa said it, and Artika touched on it. You can change your name anytime you want to anything you want to. I know somebody that they pledged a fraternity. They had their line name. They literally changed their name to their line name. It has nothing to do with their real name. So
remember,
I just
Meta
feel
World
like
Peace.
that's what I'm saying. She could have changed it anytime. I find it odd that you waited till Married at First Sight. Maybe she likes Barnes. She said, you know what? I couldn't think of it. This one fits. It sounds real nice, but maybe she was like, I don't know. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that's what, she couldn't think of nothing like, what do I change it to? Or, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of people out there. Like, I think about Vicky Winans. Vicky Winans ain't been married to Marvin Winans, and God knows how long. She never changed her name. But it's a lot. It's a lot to that, right? You got the connection to the Winans family, and then like for me, if for some reason, you and I are married 20 plus years, and then we not married,
That ain't gonna happen.
I'm not changing my name, because if I come in there with my maiden name, they're gonna be like, who is that? Because I've been your last name for so long. So that would be my reason just to keep it. It's like, I don't want people at the job like, we got a new employee, and I walk in, they be like, oh, Oh, it's you?
It'll be
Oh, I
awkward.
know her.
It'll be awkward. We walk in places after 20-some years and you got a different last name. It's gonna be problems.
Right.
It'll be problems everywhere we go. Oh man, but that's Stacia and Nate. Y'all have anything else on Stacia and Nate before we move on?
I do have a question since Khalifa's in California. Her having her daddy's last name, did he have to be present? Like in California, do you need to be present to have your daddy's last name? If your mama not married to him?
So you have to be present to sign the birth certificate. Now, that's now. So when I had my oldest son, his dad wasn't there when I had the baby. He came after, but he carried his last name. They still put him on the birth certificate. My youngest son, his dad was there for a brief moment in time. Fuck that nigga. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Okay. He had to be there for his name to be on there, but your name can be whatever. So you don't have to be there. The name could be, Kingston Webster could have been his name, and that would have been his name even if someone signed. So the only thing now is you have to be present to sign. And she's 37. So I feel like he didn't have to be present because my oldest son is 26, and I just wrote down the name. I think his dad came in later and signed, maybe. I'm not sure, but it wasn't a requirement back then. So
yeah, I asked that because Tammy didn't have to sign for either kid. It was just I wrote down on a sheet of paper. But they didn't even ask me to verify that I was married. It was literally just like fill out this paper. They didn't have like a separate one for married versus single or anything.
It was the same paper because they did ask me with Kingston. They asked me if I was married to the dad, and I was like, no. And they were like, he needed to be present. Because if I was married, I guess it's automatically, whether he yours or not biologically, he yours, So yeah, there's that. I'm sorry, y'all, that I had my little moment, but I meant that from my soul, from my core.
Sometimes you just gotta let it out.
It is fine. You gotta let it out.
That I said, fuck that nigga. I meant that. I ain't gonna say it.
It's therapy. That's therapy. A little bit. Talisa getting some therapy on. Releasing some things.
Yes.
Speaking of therapy from this last episode, I needed to get some therapy after Mitch and Krysten.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm gonna leave it to you guys. Talisa, I'm gonna start with you, Mitch and Krysten, because I don't know how she sat at that table. Because I, as a man, I felt bad for her to having to go through the conversation and then to see him when he get liquid courage, try to be all over. To me, I felt bad, but I'll let you guys go.
I don't know how you want me to go first after I just had me an angry outburst. I don't understand. You go first, Tommy. You want to go first?
I got it. Just relax. Mitch is Mitching, and he's Mitching this up. I don't get. He didn't explain well why he's not attracted to her, and to me, like I said in our review, attraction is looks. It's something I'm attracted to the way you look, some shape, form, or fashion. And I don't think she's like super ugly. I think he's winning with her versus the other way around. I think she's the prize in the relationship. I think he should, like, I feel like a lot of these guys, like, they're trying to be as truthful as possible, but needing to keep some things in their back pocket. And I think that was one of them because, one, he could have got some that night if he never said anything. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not attracted to you, but like we all know, man, the little head doesn't think right. The little head don't think like the big head. So it's it don't take much. You know what I'm saying? So I just had a thought. That's crazy. I'm gonna keep it to see. I know how to keep some things to myself.
Praise God.
But like I just feel like the conversation he had with his brother, I think that's who he was talking to, right? Mm-hmm. That was like he started saying he's cried. Like, what are you crying for? Like, figure out why it is that you don't like this girl or what it is that you're missing. figure that part out. But I don't think 2 days, 3 days in, you're immediately like, I'm not attracted to you. But then, later on that night, you're like, but I want to touch on you and feel on you and kiss on you because I've been drinking. Like, this is, for me, that's like, man, that ain't keeping it a buck with her, because you're confusing her at this point, because she wants it, like she openly told you, I want to get some. I'm ready. The oven's hot, but you don't want to cook in the kitchen.
Not the oven is
Yeah,
hot.
it's ready to go, hot and ready,
Okay.
but you don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think it's completely unfair to her. And it's like, how do you bounce back? What do you do? How do you get that attraction that you're missing? What is the attraction that you're missing? And you have to answer these questions, work through them, and then for her to kind of like hear what you're doing and see the things that you're overcoming, believe it, and then say yes. I still believe Mitch is doing this because it's on his list of things to do for life. Oh, got married, didn't work out, but I checked that box, type of deal. So it sucks.
So saying physically, I'm just not there. To me, Artika. I don't know what Krysten heard, but me, Artika, heard, I don't think that you're attractive. For the next 8 weeks, you're going to have to hear about how you didn't think that I was attractive in every conversation that we have. I just wouldn't be able to come back from that. And then you thought that we was going to get, what's the words they use? Hot and heavy? No. Get out my face. That would be it for me.
Oh, that was short and sweet, Artika. They do call you Prophetess Petty, don't they? I bet that's what they call you. So Mitch should really be grateful that somebody actually wants to have the sex with him. I think he looks better with his hair all the way cut off instead of that like sunroof that he has going. But I feel like him as a whole, with all of his idiosyncrasies and all of his what you can do and can't do, and I'm saving the earth, which is great, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I recycle. I'm very conscious about the things that I use because I want my great grandchildren to still have some place to call home. But I think that it's a lot. He's a lot to begin with. Okay. So I knew he didn't like her from the moment he saw her. I'm going to just keep it a band. I didn't think that he had an attraction for her from the beginning. And I also feel like she has been misreading him by thinking that he was attracted to her. I kept saying, ma'am, how do you see that? How do you feel that? The way he looks at you when he has not touched you and held your hand, he has not talked to you and reached over and touched your arm. He is not giving you any cues that says that this man is attracted to you. But then I'm an empath. I be reading people, and I know how to read if somebody really is into me or not. You ladies, that's something that we need to figure out. You need to tap into your discernment. If you don't want to call it what it is and call it intuition, but you need to tap into it so that you are aware of what you're getting into. After that scene, I thought it was a friend. I didn't read the caption because I'd be listening and watching. But he cried. Who was it? Was that you, Tommy, that said you didn't know why he was crying? I said he was crying because he knew that this was foolish, that he shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why he was crying. Like, his tears were not for her, right? I'm glad that he was vulnerable. We got to see him cry, but I think it was more of a I didn't got into some shit. Now I'm about to embarrass myself on here because you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, all my people gonna see me looking a fool. Because it's not that she's an ugly woman, okay? She might not be on the spectrum of femininity as most people would think, or think what feminine is. She may not be polished and all of that. Yeah, she might not have all the things that he thinks he needs, which he doesn't deserve because she's actually got a hot ass body when she had that bikini on. I said, okay, sis, like, he should be really grateful that she is attracted to him. And so, you know, I was thinking that he's gonna get the conversation, that he was gonna be the one to bring up the conversation. But because she said, I want us to be more intimate. I know that you're attracted to me. I want us to be more intimate. He decided to just shut her down. He couldn't figure out a different way to say, like, he couldn't be like, well, I want to get to know you more, right? I want us to build the attraction, right? Anything, but I'm not physically attracted. Well, he didn't really say that. He said it to the boys, but he said, I'm not where you are yet, or some shit like that. Nonetheless, it would be me and you, Artika, because I'd be like, he would never, ever, ever, ever get the opportunity to tell me you don't want me again. You should have found a different way to say that I need more time. I'm warming up. You know, I move a little slow. Anything is better than I ain't where you at. Because that is saying, I don't want you. You're not hot. I'm not attracted to you. Until I had that quad shot of tequila, because that was not a double. That was not a single. It wasn't a triple. That was a big ass glass, and it had to be 4 shots in there with them Coronas, and things got hot and heavy, you know, or whatever. That's the words. And now you in here wanting to grind on my vagina. You want to rub up on me. I'm going to give her, though, some credit. I'm glad she did not cave in. I'm glad that she said that I'm going to be me, and either you're going to like me or you not. I'm glad that she set the expectation. If you don't say I love you, and if we have not had the sex yet, then guess what? I'm going to say no on decision day. And I wish she would have said, and I need it to be authentic. You can't just tell me I love you and just want to hop on top of me because we've been drinking. I wish she would have said it needs to feel authentic and be genuine, and I have to really see it. But again, I guess she probably wouldn't see it because she can't see that he didn't like her, like literally. Even he talked about, I'm going to talk about the wedding just for a second. He talked about how he doesn't like women all dolled up. You know, I like them plain with no makeup or whatever. But you was hot for the mama when the mama walked down the aisle, and she is definitely put together by a plastic surgeon. Probably got permanent lipstick and permanent eyebrows. Like, she is definitely put, and you, that's not what you like, but you was hot for the mama. Is that my wife? Sir, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Please and thank you. I'm done.
Wait. So Talisa touched on my feelings when he was like, you know, the attraction's not there. I was like, you got some nerve, sir. You are not, I don't know, like Tommy said, or and Artika, I think, like in this pairing, Krysten is the prize. Sir, you are not the prize. And the nerve of you to not be attracted to that lady. I think, Talisa, you said it best. And I'm like, yeah, she is oblivious. I know you like me too. No, he does not. Even after he said, I'm not, she was like, oh, come on. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I know you do. I was like, oh my gosh, what is she misinterpreting? It got to be something besides that tequila shot that's making her think, I can tell you're attracted to me. And he's saying, no, not really. Not really. I liked the conversation he had with his brother, Matt, because Matt did tell him that. Matt didn't tell him to tell her like that at all. But he was like, don't leave her in the dark, because that's not fair. On after party, Ben, and I think Justin, but definitely Ben said he commended Mitch for actually saying something, because he said, I probably wouldn't have said anything. And that might have been better too, but definitely not the way Mitch said it to Krysten. That was not the way to go with it. But his brother Matt was right in telling him. And he told him, he's like, just because you're not attracted now, don't look at it as a foregone conclusion. Don't get settled in this space like I'm never going to be attracted to her. I think Pastor Cal said that at the end of last season. I forgot who he was talking about, but y'all, they acted like, who was he talking about?
Jasmine?
Yeah, like in this moment, like this is final space. Like it can't be changed from here. And that's what his brother Matt basically told him. Okay, you might not be attracted now, but that doesn't mean you can't be attracted to her later. And I still want to know, Well, doggone it, he couldn't tell Keisha on after party what his type was. He said, I got all kinds of types. Now, he did say that on his application, whatever, he said, his ideal person was like a Jessica Biel. But before that, he was like, I like all kind of different types. So I'm like, sir, Ryan said he didn't like Brett because of red hair. At least he could say that. He couldn't say nothing. Yeah. What do you not like?
Bruh, just because she's not the mama.
That's gotta be it.
And she's not the mama, but I go back what Tommy said. If he keeps quiet, he gets some loving that night.
Oh, for sure.
He keeps quiet, he gets some loving that night, and that might change the whole attraction. For a guy who hadn't had nothing about a year.
It didn't help Chris.
But this is a guy
didn't help Chris and Paige.
This is a guy who hadn't had nothing about a year and a half by choice. It wasn't really.
Not by choice.
He said
Justin's was by choice. Right. Mitch is by force.
By force.
You can't get something if ain't nobody trying to give you.
But that's what I'm saying. You have nobody giving it because he always puts his foot in his mouth. Mm-hmm. Right? When it gets to the point, he's always putting his foot in his mouth. He's always saying something that gets the person, I can't deal with you. You just ignorant. Or you just stupid. So again, he didn't understand where she was coming from. It's a time and season for everything. I'm sorry. If I'm not attracted to a person after 2 days, I don't think I'm gonna say that to you.
Right.
I might wait till 8 weeks. I might hold that in. I'm gonna treat you like
I don't even know. They're not waiting till 8 weeks.
No, but I'm gonna find something that I am attracted to you about, something that I like. It may not be the looks, but it may be your personality. Maybe it's the laughing. Maybe the truthfulness. And I'm truth be told, like the lady said, she took that like a soldier because I know some women would have threw water in his face, who would have left out the room, who would never talk to him. You talk about a bikini, you wouldn't even saw no girl in a bikini. I'm wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt for the next 8 weeks. And she wouldn't have felt comfortable being around her. I'm not attracted to you. Can't see none of this. So he's lucky enough that she had enough confidence and to be like, hey, I still going to work with this. And I think her issue is she's been so close to marriage before. You think about it, this is the second honeymoon she's on. One honeymoon she went on by herself and her family because she got left at the altar. This honeymoon she can remember is the honeymoon that her husband told him that she was attractive. Mm-hmm. Like, my God, hopefully this work out and she ain't go to a third one because I hate to see what happened on the third one. But she's been through a lot, but she's still sticking with him, and I still just think that somehow, some way, this is AJ and Stephanie. That he puts his mouth, he always puts his foot in his mouth, but they're gonna work it out somehow. Mitch may get some.
Yeah, I wanted to say because you brought this up again here. I think this is where she's getting it mixed up because he's saying, I'm not attracted to her, but when they went paddleboarding, he's like, oh, and the good thing is I get to see her in a bikini.
He doesn't know what attraction is. I don't know what a spark is. I mean, I don't understand this spark that everybody talks about, or this butterfly that in their feeling. What is this spark that she's supposed? My spark is after we spend time with each other, we have a conversation, we talk, and then now like, hey, oh man, you know what? I miss you when you're gone. Or by the way, I like to see you when you walk in the room. Or those type of things. That to me is what I consider the spark. What you look at me like that for? Oh, I like to spend time with you. You just don't know. Let the world know. Let the world know. Let the world know.
Come on, serve the world notice and tell them how you feel about Jackie. Come on.
I know. Let the world know.
No, I looked at you like that because you was like, my spark comes from spending time. Because you the same one that said when I met you in that parking lot, I was like, I knew I liked you. So which one is it? Is it spend some time or when I saw you?
I knew I liked you in that parking lot. But you had another man though. But that's a whole.
You had a girlfriend too. Anyway.
Don't worry, that's a whole different story. Y'all listen to the August Love Stories podcast that's coming out. If you want to hear the Phil's full story, the August Love podcast with Jack and Glenn, and you can hear that full story on the August Love podcast, August Love Story podcast when it drops in a couple of weeks. Don't give it to them for free. Make them listen to Tommy Archiga's podcast in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Don't give them free. Mitch is messing up. As Tommy said it, Mitch is mitching it up. And he
gonna keep mitching.
He keep putting his foot in his mouth. And I'm glad Krysten stood on her morals and like, you know what? Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of morals, let's go to Miguel and Lindsay because Lindy, sorry.
I keep wanting to call her Lindsay.
Miguel and Lindy. Because Miguel tried every manipulation trick in the book to sleep with this girl, and none of them worked. And she stood still on her foundations. Let's start with All right, Artika's gone. Let's go with Tommy because I want to see what Tommy says why he by himself about Miguel and Lindy.
She right here, man.
I'm still here. I'm feeding the baby.
It bothered me how much Miguel puts on sex. You know, this is day 3, 4. Day 3. She already said, nah, I want to wait. Why are you still pushing the issue? Because like in my experience, I get a no. All right, cool. I'll take that no. But I'm going to keep, getting to know. We're going to have fun. Because at some point, I'm going to get that yes. And I only need it one time. And I'm out the door till I got married. I want it all the time. But that's different, though. Because I had to date you. Anyway. But it's like it's weird because he's pushing the issue so much. It's like, oh man, I want to have sex, but you don't want to have sex, but sex is in the vows, and I have this license. He didn't say these words, but I have this license to have sex with you, and you don't want to. And come to find out, you had sex with somebody that you was engaged to, and y'all wasn't married, and this and that. Bro, just get to know her. That's the biggest thing for me. It's like, okay, let her say no. Get to know her some more. She gonna say yeah. And she's 9 times out of 10, she's gonna do everything you want her to do. Because you were patient. What did he say about he's accepting mediocre sex?
He said that he would be okay with mediocre sex while they were getting to know each other until they could have a deeper connection.
Like this, for me, that's nobody wants mediocre sex. I don't want to put my half into it. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna put everything I got into it, and I just feel like that may have been some of the issues that he's had with other relationships. It was so much emphasis on sex, and if he liked it or not, that 2 months down the line, he may have not been able to be like, he may have not liked it and just left. Well, in a marriage, I mean, sex is the cherry. And you always get every time you get ice cream or something like that, that cherry on top, man, is always good. It's always like it hits for some reason, but it's everything else that doesn't make the ice cream. It's the M&Ms. It's the Reese. This is my favorite type of mixture of ice cream, M&Ms and the Oreos mixed together with the whipped cream and the cherry on top. I love it. But that's the recipe. But the cherry on top is the sex. It just makes it even better. So if you get to know this person, the sex will be 10 times better because you have a deeper connection mentally, physically with this person. And I just feel like he's just looking for the physical, thinking that that's what's going to carry him through everything else. And I mean, we all know that's probably not it. What you got?
What was the initial question? It was about Miguel and sex.
Miguel and Lindy.
Miguel just needs to calm down, essentially. Lindy is completely smitten by him. I think that was her words. Yeah. And like, she just needs time. And I mean, 3 to 4 days is not time. So just give her time. And
I mean, it could have happened in 3 to 4 days, but what type of relationship?
She needs time. That's what I'm saying. That's not enough time for her.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it's even like, if you think about it, how do you respond to that? Like, in the sense of like her knowing that he wants to have sex, and that's but obviously it's a big thing for him because he just, that's all he talks about anytime we see him on TV. How does she respond to it and still trying to get to know him?
Doing what she's doing.
And then he asked for that massage. He like, you need a massage. Like, bro, come on, man. That's the oldest trick in the book, man.
He was trying to set Tommy. He was trying to set her. He was trying to set her up. He was trying to set her up. Figure I can rub your back and rub some oil on you. I can straddle you. He tried to rub. If you notice how he straddled, it's like he was putting his stuff right on her butt cheeks, right? And so he
feel it.
It felt like a pervert, though. It really was like a creepy type deal.
Yes.
Not that it was her husband doing it. It felt like he was real creepy. And And I don't want to stereotype anybody, but it made it seem like he was that comic book and Dungeon and Dragon type guy. You know what I'm saying? It made him see that guy who be in his mama's basement waiting for the first young lady to talk to him. And when he does, he just, hey, I got to go right now, because if you listen to what he said, he said, well, I'm getting it, but I'm taking care of myself. Well, he didn't say taking care of himself.
He said my needs are being met.
His needs are being met, which means
in other ways.
In other ways, whether you taking care of your needs yourself or she taking care of your needs and just you ain't poking. But if your needs are being met, why you so big on the sex? Mm-hmm. If your needs are being met. So which one is it?
Man, the thing that I don't get the most is like out of everybody talks about sex, but it's like more prevalent in this season. And it's kind of weird because it's like, weird, man, as a man, that's number one, number two goal. If you're talking to a new chick, it's like, I want to smash. And I'm gonna do what I need to do to get it. Right? But from the people that I know and from the successes that I've had, it's like you take your time. Some you get right, right then, but some takes a little time, and some, you got to be patient with some people, and that's okay, because you actually start to build a better relationship, a better friendship, and sometimes that's better than the sex. So I don't know. It's just, that's just like, sex is huge in Married at First Sight. We always talk about who's going to consummate first and this and that, but it's gotten to, for me, it's gotten to creeper vibes at this point for me. You got anything?
All right, go ahead, Talisa. Your thoughts on Miguel and Lindy?
I feel like Lindy wasted her breath in telling that man that, she only had one partner. He wouldn't have cared if she had 25 partners. It didn't matter. He was still wanting to smash, Also, I don't think him and her, have we seen them have the conversation about faith? Faith is huge for her. Not only that, I don't really think that they've had a conversation about how sheltered she is and how much experience of just day-to-day stuff that she lacks. Like, he doesn't know anything about her to even gauge her desire, her knowledge. You just want to climb on top of me and do your business, sir? That's not how this works. Like, I think that it's wise for her to take her time, because he is the one that he has high expectations for people, and he probably shouldn't. And he's the one that's leaving right away. Like, oh, I like you right now. I like you. And then in 3 months, I don't like you, right? Is that him? And isn't really finding the connections. And the reason you're not finding the connections is probably because you're doing something wrong. Oh, my little heart. I got all distracted. I'm distracted. Hey, Quad. Look, I'm distracted. So I just feel like, I wonder if the experts set some of these people up for failure. And these are some of the people that I feel like have been set up for failure. They are two entirely different people. She has a whole set of morals, values, ethics. I don't know what he has, right? Like, he's not showing me that he has any of the things that I think that she would have put on her 200+ questionnaire. I don't know. And then when, the brother and the mama was talking about sex, and they were saying, we think you should wait, blase, whatever they were saying, he was disinterested then. And so I don't think that they've had enough conversations for him to even know who she is. My biggest thing is she lacks experience. She lacks world knowledge. Okay. She was in a bubble, lived in a bubble, finally came out the bubble, and is still experiencing life. So you're rushing. Her whole thing is like most people who, for me, spirituality and religious is different. So people that are religious tend to say, wait till you're married, right? Even though that's good. How about wait till you get to know someone? Wait till your spirit says that it's right. Because, I ain't never seen, except for the one time Jesus made the water and the wine at the wedding, I ain't never seen no whole ass ceremony in the Bible. That was the only one I ever seen. It's always, and he knew her. So I feel like for her, it's definitely important that he waits. He needs to know her, like mentally, because I think she's a beautiful woman for, you know, for Lily. I think she looks great. Not like Lily, yo Lily, but Lily like they Lily. So I think that she's beautiful. I think that, like I said, she lacks experience. I think that he needs to hold on. He needs to slow down. He needs to just get to know her. Just rub on her booty and get whatever you're getting from whatever you've been doing to satisfy your urges. Just continue there, because probably if you wait about week 4 or 5, she's probably gonna give in, because she is, like Artika said, smitten with him. The whole Spanish thing they got going on, speaking in Spanish and all of that, she is totally enamored by that man. So if he just waits, she gonna serve it on the platter. She gonna be naked and stuff with something fancy on. Probably she'll read some stuff on the internet, ask the other wives what she's supposed to do. Just slow down. Just slow down. You know, slow down.
Talisa, you kind of touched on what I said in our review. When he talked to her brother and her mom, you know, when the brother was like consummating and the importance of you know, sex in a marriage and, you know, the religious implications, Miguel like kind of blew him off, like, well, Lindy told me, you know, she not really religious no more. Okay, that might be what she said, but when the rubber meets the road, when she talked about it, she sounded just like her brother. When it's the two become one, you know, is when, you know, when you come together and, you know, it's God ordained. I mean, she didn't say that, but, you know, like, it's God ordained. When you grow up like that, that's a part of your foundation. And as much as you try to buck the foundation, you know, it's still there. It's still there. So I think, you know, he's thinking, well, she had a one night stand. She, you know, she went out in the world and she played around. That's because she was bucking the program. She was bucking the system. I'm tired of these restraints, and I'm going to go out here and I'm just going. And she talked about that one night stand. She didn't say she had multiple. Right. She didn't say she was out there laying it low and spreading it wide. You know what I mean? But I was like, he's convinced himself because of what she said. You know, I don't ascribe to that religion anymore, that he's going to do it his way. Even when he made that stupid joke, when she was like, you know, it's the way God had put it together. And he was like, well, is God going to be watching us? Is he going to be rating us? And she was like, oh, that's so sacrilegious. You know, I'm like, dude, calm down. You just keep your willy in your pants. I don't know you that well. And when the rubber meets the road, she still ascribes to how she was raised up and how she was taught. And she ain't gonna just give it to you like that. She just not.
I think the big difference is the 8-year gap.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was big of a gap between those two. It's a big gap. So he's like, I didn't say daddy, but he's more mature. I didn't say mature either. I'm not gonna say mature. He's just at a different age level than her. So he can try. He's playing those old man games on a young lady, and he's trying to get what he can get. And I think that's one of the issues he talked about. His mom wasn't there, so he's seeing his dad do whatever he did, and he was back in was it Dominican Republic?
Puerto Rico.
And back in Puerto Rico. So again, he's seen a lot of things, and I think in relationships, he just doesn't know how to handle a relationship, and sex has been a part of a relationship. I think the reason that he got rid of all these women because they probably didn't want to give sex, they didn't give him sex, and the time that he wanted, he said, "Oh, you got to go. Oh, you didn't go. I'm not getting sex in 3 weeks. Oh, you got to go. I'm not getting sex in 2 weeks. You got to go." And so now he wanted to be married because he figured I can get sex all the time. And so now
it's very creepy.
And it is creepy. So now he's married to someone who has some values, has some character about himself, who's smart, who's intelligent, and he's trying to break that wall down from the values that she has. And you know, it's going to take time. I think if he just be patient and work with her, and be patient and treat her right and love her, make her feel comfortable and romance her, is not being creepy, I think everything will work out. But he's just so rush that he want to get in the draws that he don't know that with her, if he gets in there too quickly, it may actually push her away from him.
Mm-hmm. And then, like Tommy made the point too, he did make that comment. You know, the guys were talking. It was like, you know, it's something different when you have sex with somebody, when you got a connection there. You know, you got an emotional connection, a spiritual connection, whatever. And Miguel was like, I mean, yeah, I know it's better when you have that connection, but can we have some mediocre sex, some unconnected sex in the meantime? Like,
Which,
what?
you know, my translation to that was Miguel be getting prostitutes.
I was just
might
saying, I
be.
swear, I just was thinking maybe paying for sex.
He be paying-
But don't subject Lindy to that. Like, get out of my head, Glenn.
Yeah, I mean, because
For real.
because when a man says he can just have sex and not be connected to somebody, he doesn't value the person that he's having sex with. And so he has no value to her. So it's like, okay, I can have mediocre sex. I can have sex with somebody at a convention. I got somebody dressed up like a character from Dungeons. I don't care. He just wants sex.
Or like we've quoted, he'll just get on top of her and do his business.
And he's gonna be a selfish lover. When they get together, Miguel is gonna be a selfish lover. And as you know, nobody likes a selfish lover. You know, can't be selfish.
No.
And that's what he's gonna be. But any other thoughts on Miguel and Lindy? I know she said she'd rather fall in love.
Yeah, she said love is a choice.
Love is a choice.
And he said love is a feeling. And you and I had the conversation that it's both. But when you're concentrated, like he said, more on love being a feeling, then when I don't feel like being in love, then I don't feel like being with you. I'm moving on to the next thing. You know, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Anything else on Miguel and Lindy before we move on to the final couple?
In which we don't have a whole lot.
And there's not much about the final couple anyway. We got Ben and Morgan. Ben and Morgan finally get married. Ben and Morgan, look, Ben is ready to go. He's like, I'm getting ready to turn 30, and I want to get it in. And Mama was like, we need to have kids. Ben is ready to start having kids on wedding night. But as he said on Married at First Sight, on After Party, he would have had sex, but the condoms were too big. That's what he said.
He said it was a bowl of extra large condoms. And yeah, not beneficial to him. That's what he said. I couldn't believe my dude. I couldn't believe my guy said that on TV. I was like, okay, Ben. But anyway, Ben and Morgan.
He's really said that?
He did. I heard him. You got a lie next time.
Right. I guess it don't matter, man. He have his own set of condoms.
You know, they had the bowl.
I would have came prepared anyway.
Like, what was in the bowl?
Anyway, I didn't really have much to say about that. I think he's scared of her.
He should be.
Yeah. I don't think he should be scared of her, but I mean, he should respect her skills. It's just the sex thing, man. It's not like everybody's coming into this thing like, yeah, if we have sex, we're gonna have sex. You know, we obviously know that, but it's like when it's brought up 5 or 6 times, and this is just day 4 or less, it's like, bro, just let it go. With them, I get his expectation, or you know, she probably whispered something to his ear or something like that, and you know, kind of got him excited and stuff like that because it's his birthday, which I think is, you know, is cool. If they had sex or if they, you know, didn't have sex, I mean, if it's gonna happen, both of you can tell it's gonna happen with them. I think they're gonna do it first. After Stacia and Nate did what they did. But I think they're gonna have the true penetration first, right? That's what it's called.
The word.
That's the word. But them two, I think I like them together. I like to see how they build and how they grow. I think that she's gonna take more of a lead role in the marriage than he is. He's gonna be very laid back and going with the flow of things. And I like them. I really do. I think that's gonna be interesting how they get over the hump of him being a mama's boy and she being such a dominant person. What they call alpha person. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think everything's gonna be better once they do have sex. Like, so it's not the, you know, the exciting thing to talk about anymore. But yeah.
You know, when we first met them individually, I assumed that I would not like Morgan, but it's Ben that I don't like in their relationship. I can't exactly put my finger on why I don't like him so much right now, but I just don't really like him right now. Um One of the things that bothered me was everything about him has been about his degrees and him working out. And I just want him to bring something more to the table other than I went to college twice and I work out, because she too went to college and she too works out, but she could at least offer up more about herself, like who she is as a person. Um the sex thing, it's mostly the guys talking about sex. I think the only woman that's mentioned sex or lack thereof has been Alexis.
Krista.
Oh yeah, Kristen was one. That I take that back then. You're right. Two of them. The guys,
Stacia too.
Stacia wasn't like,
She
oh, I
was
gotta
like,
do it though.
she was like, he can get it in. He can get it.
But she hasn't been like leading the
Yeah,
conversation with sex.
you're right.
Stacia has definitely been leading. I mean, not Stacia. Alexis has definitely been leading, talking about sex or lack thereof. I don't know. The mama's boy part bothers me because there's mama's boys and then there's overkill of being a mama's boy. And his is in overkill because anytime you say to your mom, if there's something that you don't like, we can try to fix it. Your mama can't fix me. And his mama, I don't think she's gonna be able to fix Morgan because Morgan has a strong personality. I do think I'm happy that Morgan stood her ground in the conversation about kids, because the mama was like, y'all gotta have grandkids, and she was like, nah, I got some other things I'm trying to do in my life before I have kids. And that's real. Like, as my godmother has always said to me, do everything that you could think you want to do with your life before you start having kids. She's on that path.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, she's not a person who's like, I have this crazy biological clock. I got to do this by this date, this by this date. She's like, my life is progressing the way that I want it to. I would like to get married. Here I'm doing it. Hopefully this is a forever thing and we can talk about kids later. But I don't know. In the beginning, I was weary about this couple a little bit, and I'm even more weary about them now. Yeah, I'm done.
I think that this is one of those couples that the experts did a disservice to, or the producers, whoever matched them, did a disservice. Because again, they are on opposite ends of the spectrum. Him, I want to please my mother. I want her to be happy and proud. I want to do the things that she would want me to do. And her as I'm an autonomous woman that's independent and sets my own rules. I live by my rules, and hopefully to find someone that can compromise, come with me, and we can cooperate, collaborate together. So I feel like this is a whole disservice on them. Sex or no sex, sometimes you can have great sex and still not be the wrong person. Like, they might have a good time in the bedroom, but I don't think that they are a match. He's super duper frugal. She wants to continue to travel. He already said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend my money on that. Except for we'll have a second honeymoon and we can go wherever you want to go. Right? I think that him being so frugal, her being so free, it looks like it's just a recipe for disaster. We're just going to mix it up and watch it bake and blow up because the wrong ingredient. Instead of putting a baking soda, they put gunpowder. Okay, I think that that's what's going to happen. I don't have nothing else. I agree with what Artika and Tommy said. I don't know about not liking Ben yet, Artika, but I just think that they are a mismatch for me. Like, I'm just gonna wait for it to happen and blow up. And when it does, I'm gonna say, "Oh, look at that!" That's probably all it's gonna go. I'm sure I'm gonna agree with you, Jackie, and maybe with you, Glenn, because you be off sometimes. So I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I do be off. I'm off sometimes. Sometimes I give people the benefit of the doubt, but I am off. I do agree with you on this one. I don't think they match. I think that him being cheap is going to mess it up because I look at how they're communicating now. Everything is laughter and giggles, and everything to me is like when you see people who laughing all the time when they're talking, they're hiding something. And when you laughing, you all the time you're hiding something, or this is your coping mechanism. You just want to laugh it off. And I think they're gonna have some serious conversations that they won't be able to laugh off. And she's gonna be so alpha that he's gonna have to take a backseat her alpha because I don't think he can't match her alpha. I don't think he can match her alpha. So I think that's gonna be an issue. It's fine now because you're only 2 days in. We're going into a beautiful place. We meet new couples. We having fun. We ain't got stress. We ain't got life. I ain't got to worry about mama calling every day. He ain't got to worry about going over to help mama with groceries, whatever it takes what he does for his mama. But when they get back to San Diego, I think this couple right here is going to have some major issues because they're two different people. This is the couple that, you look at it and be like, they look nice together, but the communication is not there because they both laugh and giggle so much. I don't think they were going to be able to get anything seriously, to be able to talk about anything seriously.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I'll be interested to see them actually get into serious conversation and deal with actual married people issues. You made the comment that he's not going to be able to match her alpha. Of course not. I haven't met an alpha male that's a mama's boy yet. I ain't never seen it. Mama's boys aren't usually alpha males. So she's going to run him. He's going to be scared every night that she's kicking him in his sleep with the Muay Thai. He's going to be scared. But they look cute together. I think, we've said that they look cute together, but I just don't see where they're going to vibe. I don't see where they're going to vibe. The money, him being cheap will come up later, but me and you talked about it was like too much giggling and goofiness for me. I was like, get serious. I think it's a coping mechanism. It's like, I don't know what to say. I was just like, why does he keep giggling? All I see is teeth. I just see Ben's teeth. Nice teeth. But I was like, I'm tired of looking at you grinning. Yeah. Just grinning. But I think they really didn't do a whole lot with them. We'll get into them some more in the next episode, but I don't know. I just don't know about them. Yeah. They say they're attracted to each other. I think it's just excitement about we finally got to get married after they got stalled because of COVID. I think that's what it is. And if he said it on After Party, if he doesn't think she's cute, he ain't gonna tell her. He is not gonna tell her.
She's 27. I think she needs to experience some things, and they might experience some things together. So
I feel like a little bit. Can I say this? I feel like a little bit. She's a little bit like I can't remember who said it. Like Mitch, that she's kind of checking off a list. Mitch is like, okay, I get married because I need to get married before I turn 50. Because I think she's like, because she said she never thought that she would get married. She never thought she would get to that point. So it's like, I'm doing this to say I did it.
Oh, and plus the kid issue might be a situation too, because she didn't want kids and he wants kids. So
they avoided that question like the plague on both sides.
Yeah, both ends.
Both of them got asked, how many kids do you want? Do you want kids?
Yeah. So that might be.
And his answer was, I like kids.
Yeah, it might be a major issue for them. But that's all the couples. That's everybody.
I want to say something else about them. With the travel situation, this feels a mismatch like Jose and Rachel all over again. Like, I got some money, but we're not going to spend it because, got to save it. And she's like, I have my own money. I can do these things. And he's like, nope, you're my wife. I feel like it's going to be like that.
Yeah. I can see that.
That's going to be a big issue because she's real independent. So, closing thoughts. Y'all, closing thoughts on anything that you want to talk about, promote anything. Closing thoughts. We'll start with Talisa. Closing thoughts.
No, I'm just going to wait and see. That's all I got. I'm going to wait and I'm going to see. And see if any of my mental predictions that I have going to come up and show up. Other than that, I don't have a thing to say about these folks. I'm hoping they give me something more though, than like y'all said, the sex. And I honestly am hoping that Married at First Sight gives us more, allows us to see them working through more than just one issue, whatever they consider their major issue is. I'd like to see Lindy and Miguel work through the argument versus disagreement situation, because I figure in my mind, arguing isn't healthy. Disagreements are. Arguing for me feels like I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm cursing. For me, that's unhealthy. Okay. Disagreements, I can do. I can walk away, I can come back and we can talk some more. But if we're arguing, then for me, it's real toxic. It's a real toxic situation. And I'm probably talking about your mama. So I don't want to argue. So no. So for me, they need to figure that out. So I want to see them work through that, because they are going to have some disagreements.
August love story. You guys, what are your thoughts? Closing thoughts.
This season has been one that I'm at least looking forward to this far into it. It hasn't been an insufferable first 5 episodes, because nobody's using the "you're a stranger" or any of that craziness. So I'm really looking forward to finishing out this season. Talisa, I don't know if these are still on sale, but I'm going to do your promo for you. Y'all go buy her journal, or yes, her self-reflection journal. I was about to say, I don't know what it's called. Self-reflection journal by Talisa Ray. Go buy this really great thing. She's amazing. Jack and Glenn are amazing. We have fun doing this. I mean, you cool. I married you. We've been having a lot of fun the last, what has this been? 4 seasons of Married at First Sight together. This is one of the highlights of the week. So, enjoying this with you guys.
Yep. And they're both on our podcast, so their episodes are coming out soon. Be on the lookout.
Don't watch mine. It ain't none. Don't listen to mine. Don't listen. Don't watch. It ain't none of y'all business. Okay.
No, watch it, listen to it, take notes.
I've been telling my family about this conversation we had, and they all like, "Whoo, I gotta meet Talisa."
And like and share this video. Subscribe to everybody.
I got nothing else.
All right.
Hey, make sure you join everybody's membership, do all that. You can get the journal at talisaray.com. Make sure you get the journal at talisaray.com. I saw a question in the chat real quick. I'm gonna answer. Who are the worst matched up couples? Mitch and Krysten, I believe, is the worst matched up. Also, I think Ben and Morgan right now is one of the worst matched up couples. So I have 2 couples that I think shouldn't be together as of right now. Whether they stay married or not, only time will tell. But I think they're the worst that the experts put together. But once again, hit everybody's like button, hit everybody's subscribe button, share it with everybody. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for the chat, for jumping off once again. We appreciate you in the chat. Hey, thank y'all for watching us, and we'll see you next week. Peace.